because he played Experimental Frenzy twice in a game.
Yeah, Experimental Frenzy is crazy. So, guys, just so you guys don't, for those of you guys that don't know what that is, it's a new red enchantment that comes out, and it basically is like a Necropotence, which is an old card for Magic, but it basically is going to, it's not similar, but it has a similar effect.
It's like Future Sight.
It's allowing you to basically just continue to play off the top of your deck.
So JPR 1220, as a Jeskai player in Modern, how similar is the standard list to the Jeskai Modern list? Is what I would gather.
I don't think it's.
No,
what do you think
actually, it's very similar because you're almost playing like a Jeskai burn deck in Standard. Because I play 4 Ionize and 4 Expansion Explosions. You put a lot of pressure on them with chip damage, and eventually you're just explosioning for 6 or 7 after casting 3 Ionizes, and you win the game. I have found myself ending games on turn 10, no problem.
Yeah.
Even in Control Mirrors. I had a Control Mirror last night where they tapped out a couple of times incorrectly, and they were just burned to death.
Yeah.
So I think it's a much more not aggro, what's the word? You're going faster. So that's what I really like about it. So here we are with our Abzan Traverse on the left versus Abzan. It's going to be
guys,
a fun
this is
mirror.
on the right, the Abzan Alexander Gabriel. He's the player I was talking about earlier. He's one of our local players that's very good. He wins a lot of our tournaments up here. So, again, starting off here with an Inquisition of Kozilek. Like I said, guys, if you're playing against Black, expect the Thoughtseize or an Inquisition on turn 1. It's one of the strongest plays in Modern. They get to look at your hand and remove basically whatever your strongest threat is right away. Inquisition obviously has to be mana cost 3 or less, but you don't have to pay any life like Thoughtseize.
Yeah. Chris does seem to have a very powerful hand there. And Evil Juggernaut is Naperville. They do on Saturday night.
All right, so now we got Chris Thoughtseizing him back. So these guys are going to
see a lot of that in this matchup.
Yeah, I think he's going to either take the Tireless Tracker or probably the Assassin's Trophy.
If I had to
taking the Souls is not that great because obviously he could recast the Souls from the graveyard, and the push is more conditional than the Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, it depends on what's in his hand. I kind of agree with that. You don't really want him to get any value off the tracker, and you don't really care what he's killing with the trophy. Because this game's really just going to come down to 1-for-1s and then Lingering Souls. I actually really like what Kopjo's bringing to the table here, though, because Alexander is not going to be able to beat a Carnage Tyrant whatsoever if he comes down. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I actually, in this matchup, I think Kopjo's favored if he can get to 6 mana.
Yeah, we haven't gotten the sideboard list yet, but I do know that Alex runs, I think, some sweepers in his sideboard.
Yes, Jellybelly in the chat, Lily Edict, that is correct. I think that Lingering Souls is going to provide a lot of protection against that, though. Lily will be right back, folks. Yeah, Lily, I don't think that's an effective answer in this matchup, though. Lingering Souls is going to provide a lot of protection against that. So we're going to see a fetch here. End of turn. What's Chris doing playing Abzan? He's playing Abzan Traverse that's playing Carnage Tyrants. That's why we got him on camera. Itty Bitty Kitty, yes, Liliana's really worth $100. Those are the dopest spirit tokens I have ever seen. I love Chris. No, it's not Tom talking. It's Dom Tenby. The one and only. So he's going to bolt himself here down to 13. Chris is using Traverse for a value, like a toolbox, and then he's playing 1 Carnage Tyrant in the main deck. So with the 4 Traverses, he basically has access to it whenever he wants if he has 6 mana.
All right, I'm back.
All right,
what was I missing?
Just saw a swing for 2 here with Shambling Vent here. Got a little bit of a grindy board state. Chris still has a very powerful hand, though. He is missing some land drops here. I do like just going with the Tarmogoyf here, putting some pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously see 2 answers already in Alexander's hand, so Chris knows that's going to just kind of be bait to get some of this removal out. He's probably hoping to obviously get rid of the Assassin's Trophy, like I said. Assassin's Trophy is, as we're already seeing, is much more powerful here. In general than push for this specific.
Although Liliana seems pretty good in this situation too.
Yeah. So anybody in chat doesn't know what Liliana is here. It's a staple in Modern as well. She comes out. She could +1 to make both yourself and your opponent discard a card,
So we're
or
gonna see-
-2 to make your opponent sacrifice a creature, which this is called in Magic. We usually call this an edict effect. An edict effect is very important because creatures like Carnage Tyrant, which is what Chris is playing, that are
Hey, Brad, in the chat,
that
we're
are
working on that.
hexproof can still be you can still get
Dan's
rid of
doing
it.
that for us.
So yeah, so basically, really good against any type of decks that run large creatures that you cannot target, or either are indestructible, or are hexproof, so you can't target it. And basically, if you edict them, then it's gone.
Yeah. So we're going to see Chris here flashback Lingering Souls. It's important to note here that he didn't leave up the black mana. He left up... Oh, no, he played a Blooming Marsh, right? Or did he fetch this turn? I'm
Hey,
not
Brad,
sure.
Brad in chat, what kind of info are you?
Yeah, that's a Jelly Belly refused to leave up push.
What kind of
So I will...
What kind of info are you looking for? More that you guys are interested. Just curious about that. Go ahead.
So I think he chose to leave up the Ghost Quarter there for the Shambling Vent. I don't know if that's correct over push. I think push is better to keep in hand if you have a Ghost Quarter in play, though.
So these little turtle tokens are representing his spirits.
Yeah, he's a
fire.
very spiritual guy, Chris.
All right. So is he gonna use? Is Alexander gonna use this Assassin's Trophy on a land? Yeah. So now Chris is gonna still be able to go get a land. I guess this is maybe him hoping that he doesn't have like a
This is a basic check.
like a basic planes or something in there.
Yeah, I think Alexander thinks he's not going to get much more value out of it, so he's seeing if he has more than just a basic forest. Seeing what kind of basics he has in his deck.
Yeah.
I like Chris's position here. He is facing one spirit, but he just did flash back his Lingering Souls, and Chris is only on one card in hand, and he still has this active Liliana. So I think Alexander's favored at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to start.
Although,
He's
Chris
just going to start.
could just draw Lily himself.
Alexander could just keep plussing his Lily here. If he wants to edict at any point to get that token out of there, he can. Because obviously that's good especially if he knows that Chris is playing a Carnage Tyrant. He might have heard through the grapevine here, possibly. I'm not sure. But.
Well, we've got no more spirits in play, so that's kind of a moot point.
Another thing in these decks, you guys will notice that they do usually play manlands. So Alexander does have. Oh, there goes another Lily. Alexander does have access to a
this is
manland if he
brutal.
wants to put some pressure on an empty board.
Chris has been having some pretty bad mana problems this game, though. He's been stuck on one black all game. There it goes, right off the top is, the classic.
So
As Alexander draws another Liliana.
I think Alex just needs to start attacking with his land here, his man land, and then he could just probably plus Lily.
Hey, Brad, that's a good suggestion.
What's that? So Brad says just anytime Tarmo gets on the field, what's the power and tough? Yeah. That's something that for sure we could probably get some Termagoyf dice down there, some larger jumbo dice or something, so you guys can see what Termagoyfs are at and stuff like that.
Itty Bitty Kitty, best manland, by far Celestial Colonnade.
Yeah, I mean,
anyone fight me on that one.
So for manlands, it's like they're all pretty good depending on like what they're used in, but I think it's because it's used as a finisher in blue-white control, you end up seeing it like as a win con there, so that's a good argument as to why it's maybe the best.
I just don't see any argument for why anyone could even be close.
Yeah, I mean, some people might say like Raging Ravine, like in general, like just there's other good ones like that are close seconds, but that specific land is played. Yeah. So tell everybody why you like that.
Well, first it's blue and white, so that gives it quite a big upside on the rest of them. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it activates for 5, which is 2 more than a lot of the other ones that are considered to be good, like Shambling Vent or Hissing Quagmire. Even Raging Ravine activates on 4. But it's 4/4 flying and vigilance, which it just becomes a Serra Angel. So
and the flying is very relevant.
Yeah,
as well,
and it doesn't tap, and you can still tap it for like a Path to Exile. Yeah, this game's about over here. That's why we've stopped talking about it, by the way. I really don't see Chris coming back here.
So hold on a second. I have this stream, Twins Mon. I have this stream going on over my car radio, and he says, sorry, the headphones, and there is a delay in the car radio, and it keeps echoing. Yeah, if you guys get delays in Twitch, sometimes you could just refresh the Twitch, and if you ever have like more than like an 8 to 10 second delay, I would just try and refresh it, or it could just be your connection. But yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of a time delay between chat and what we're streaming.
Yeah.
So Mishra's Factories, where is a. Oh yeah, Mishra's Factory. Yeah. So I think in particular, Tom was responding about in modern.
Yeah, Mishra's Factory is not a modern legal man land.
If you have like in Legacy and in Vintage, there's obviously better arguments.
Inkmoth Nexus, that might be a bit better.
Yeah, Inkmoth, Blinkmoth, Nexus, both of them really good. You see those?
I would say Blinkmoth, maybe not Inkmoth.
Yeah.
Or no. Yeah, Inkmoth is better than Blinkmoth for sure. I don't know if it's better than Celestial though.
Yeah, so we're seeing the slow grind here. This is why all Planeswalkers, and in particular Lily, is so good. She's gonna force Chris to have to play every card he tops.
Yep.
Otherwise, he's gonna be have to discard it. So he's just got to play everything right away.
Oh, that's a good one though. Traverse the Ulvenwald. That's one that can bring him back into this game. So if we, see, this is what I was talking about. He's looking at a Carnage Tyrant there. So Carnage Tyrant, can we get that one up on the screen there? That's a really big dinosaur. Although he is looking at a Scavenging Ooze. I don't know if a Scavenging Ooze is going to be good enough to beat 4 Spirits though. Yeah, so you can see Carnage Tyrant on the screen there. It's 4 and 2 green, can't be countered, 7/6 trample and hexproof. It's a standard house, not one we see too much in Modern, but Chris is really just trying to get somebody. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's not going to be good here. I think Lily's just going to be able to edict it right away, just get rid of it. So it's a cool card. I think it's always fun to throw a little bit of spice. Yeah, so he didn't grab it. He went and grabbed a little bit more. Maybe
it really doesn't matter what he grabs at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I really just want to see him cast that Carnage Tyrant.
Let's see what everybody's saying in chat. No mana to play the Dino. Yeah,
he's going to untap at some point, Tom Brady. Relax.
Anyways, I like Scooz. Yeah, Scavenging Ooze probably wouldn't be that bad. Gained a little bit of extra life. He would have been able to activate it, looks like 2 or 3 times. Gain a little bit of extra life. Maybe force an Edict out of the Lily. Yeah, I think that Scooz wouldn't have been a bad option at all. So yeah, this game's just
so he's
maybe
just going to get some free information here. I think Chris kind of sees that the writing's on the wall. He's holding up just Shambling Vent versus 4 Spirits.
So Alexander's been playing this deck for quite a while now. Like I said, he's really well versed on this deck. He definitely knows what he's doing. And I think that he's probably just going to look to try and cast some value cards here. Yep, there we go. Tireless Tracker. It's definitely a card he wants to see right now. He's going to start to be able to get some card advantage, maybe grow it as a huge finisher here. Mm-hmm. Even if Chris gets removal, it's not going to be that great because he's still got the 4 tokens on the battlefield here.
This is a card, though, if he had found it earlier here, Liliana the Last Hope, that would have let him fight back into this game.
Tell us a little bit about the card, please.
So, Liliana the Last Hope, it's an interesting card. I don't think she's the best, but she is very good. +1 will let her eat these tokens because it gives them -2, -1. It's more in this deck for the -2 though.
Yeah, it's super good against tokens. Oh hey, what's up, Tom? That's Ben. What's up, Ben? How you doing, buddy? Ben, one of our local players. He's in college right now. He hasn't been up here the last couple weeks, but yeah, awesome, Ben. What's up, man? And yeah, I think this Lily's sweet against tokens, but it's just not going to be. Doesn't have any way to defend itself right now. Maybe activate the man land.
Yeah, he's going to activate the Shambling Vent to at least block the Tireless Tracker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben's one of our local players here that was playing Scape Shift, I believe. Right, Ben, you were playing Scape Shift, and recently he went to the Ohio Classic, and I think he did pretty well up there.
That's a dismember there by Alex.
All right, so Lily looks like she's going to take...
Yep, Lily's going to bite the dust, and Chris is going to take 2 here. Need a big top deck. We just heard Chris say it need a big top deck.
Go Lucky. He says he plays Burn and his friends throw
That
tomatoes
land,
at
yep,
him.
called it. The classic.
Yeah, this game's pretty much over. I don't think Chris, unless he has there's pretty much nothing he can really do. So yeah. All right, let's see about the sideboards here for you guys.
All right. So
All right, Tom's gonna go over the sideboards for us again. Again, guys, this is our first week doing commentary. Last week was our first week streaming, but we're gonna keep doing this every week. Try and get some little improvements here. And
yeah, any suggestions you guys have, please. We're open to anything. So if you can think of anything, let us know. But as for boards here, we got Alex on Abs in. His board is 1 Kalitas, Trader of Get.
Yep.
3 Fulminator Mage, 2 Surgical Extractions, 2 Collective Brutalities, 1 Damnation, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, 2 Nile Spellbombs, 1 Engineered Explosives, and then 2 Stony Silences. What do you like?
I like anything here. These are obviously grindy matchups here. I like anything he's going to get big card advantage, a couple big threats. I don't think that he's too worried about bringing in surgicals here. The Collective Brutalities, I think, are pretty nice. Maelstrom Pulse against maybe the Lilies.
I want to see the Nile Spellbombs come in.
Yeah, the Nile Spellbomb's not bad. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Chris has a lot. He's working on a Traverse Delirium package. He's got main deck Grim Flares and main deck Tarmogoyfs.
This is Alex's list that we went over here.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay,
yeah, against Chris.
Yeah.
Chris
definitely.
has main deck Grim Flares, main deck Tarmogoyfs. So I think that bringing in the Nile Spellbombs as a cantrip that's also going to exile his graveyard is going to be effective.
Yeah. Andrew, would we be able to get Nihil Spellbomb up on the screen for everybody here really fast?
Other than that, that's probably about it.
Yeah, I like Collective Brutality. It's always
maybe Kalitas.
Yeah, Kalitas not bad either. So let's go over Chris's.
Yeah, so Chris's board here. We got 1 Damping Sphere, 1 Kalitas, 1 Bajuka Bog, 1 Graft Digger's Cage, 2 Nile Spellbombs, 2 Knight of Autumns, 1 Damnation, 1 Wrath of God, 1 Gideon Ally of Zendikar, 1 Stony Silence, 1 Gaddock Teague, and 2 Fulminator Mages. I like Gideon Ally of Zendikar a lot in this matchup.
You like the Gideon? Yeah, Gideon's great.
Same thing with the 2 Nile Spellbombs.
Yeah, Gideon is like a powerhouse in grindy matchups. Like, it could just win a game on its own if you land it. They don't have, like, removal in the first turn or two. It could create tokens. Also, you guys should be able to see that on the screen right now.
Yep.
If you guys can't see it, let us know. But that's the Gideon Ally of Zendikar. Super good late game finisher.
Yep. Anytime you top deck this card past turn 4, you're just really glad to see it.
We do know that Alex is running, obviously, the Assassin's Trophies. He could take care of that pretty good. That's also why Assassin's Trophy. So this is a perfect example of why Assassin's Trophy would be beneficial over a
card like Abrupt Decay. Yeah, because it hits what he's going to be bringing in here.
Yes,
he's going to be bringing in, I think,
advantage.
Kalitas, Ally of Zendikar. He's got I don't think he has anything yet. No, he doesn't have anything else in the main deck, but it does hit everything. It hits his lands too, as we saw. He turned his land into a basic. So
yeah, I think with this game, with this matchup, they're both looking to try and get their spirits on board. They're trying to get their lilies on the table. Like, whoever can kind of get a little bit of like.
They're just going to be trading cards out of hands, trading resources, and whoever can come ahead. Post board, I think Alexander probably has an advantage. Chris is playing a lot of cards that are almost dead weight, like we're seeing here in what's this card, Mishra's Bauble? I can't remember the name of it for a second. It's a good card, but in these really long, grindy matchups, it's not what you want to be doing. It's just sitting there looking at the top card, trading 1-for-1 and cantripping type of thing.
Jacob is the boss. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining our chat stream here.
Jacob's okay, I would say.
Yeah, guys.
He's decent.
If you guys have any questions while this game's going on, these are, like I said, this is going to be a little bit grindy matchup. Go ahead and ask. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about as well. So,
hey, hi again, Miss Claus.
Hey, Miss Claus, what's going on?
So we're looking at a pretty powerful hand from Chris there. Looking like he's a little land shy. He's got a second one there at least, but it doesn't look like he has any more. Maybe, I can't tell. It's a pretty powerful turn 2 play there, though, in a Grimflayer. You want to tell me about that one, Larry?
Yeah, so Grimflayer is a card that essentially starts off as a 2/2, and if you kind of grow your graveyard a bit here with Delirium, it's going to get bigger and turn into a 4/4. However, with this card, most people don't think this obviously is good as a Termagoyf, but one of the differences between this and Termagoyf is it has trample, and if it does do damage to a player, you basically get to take cards from the top of your library, choose what you want in the graveyard, and what you don't, you can fix on top of the library. Pretty cool card. Not usually they only play like 1 or 2 of these, I think, in the main deck.
So we're going to see a really nice curve out here from Alexander. End step, we're going to see a Fatal Push into a turn 2 Tarmogoyf. That's exactly where these Abzan decks want to be, is interacting with the first turn play. Oh, that's not good, though. We're going to see a miss land drop, and then following up with a threat. Jacob is boss. That was rude, but here's a follow. Well, welcome to the stream, buddy. Sir Tailweavers, any card you feel needs to be put on the ban list currently? Any cards that should come off the ban list? Currently put on the ban list, I would say no, because everything just feels kind of even. Nothing feels too overly good. Any cards that should come off the ban list? Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, Sir Tailweaver. With the ban list, obviously, like everybody always has a couple like cards that they always name. Some people were worried a few months back, like 6 months ago, when
you see a path there.
Yeah, I see a path right there. When KCI was getting really popular, people were worried that was going to be a deck that got out of control. Honestly, that deck's hard to operate, and you actually don't really see it that often. So it's not a deck that's like ruining the format in any way. So you're probably not going to see much of anything happen there. Some people are worried about the green cards like Ancient Stirring being too out of character for green cards, having too much draw power, but those are also going to stay as well. And then we also see cards like in Hollow One, you see people complain about what's the discard card, draw 2, discard 2.
Faithless Looting?
Yeah, Faithless Looting. You have people complain about that sometimes. But all these are like, I think that like Modern is just such a healthy format that none of these ever get like super out of control right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's too good. I think Modern's a very healthy format. So, back to the game here. I think we're going to see Alex play. I thought he was going to play Liliana. This seems almost better in this situation. Just casting a Lingering Soul is going to start putting some pressure on him.
Yeah, guys, for any of you guys not familiar with Lingering Souls and why it's so powerful, it's a card that can actually be pitched by your own Lily. So if you get a Lily on board and you plus it to make your opponent discard and you discard as well, you don't feel really bad about discarding it. So you're getting not necessarily card advantage from it, but you're just getting the use of the card without having to worry about discarding it, as well as when it's in your graveyard. To activate it, it requires black mana, whereas when it's in your hand, it requires white mana. That sometimes is relevant as well.
Yes, I agree. The big thing about Lingering Souls is you just get to do it twice.
Yeah.
You know, any of these spells like we're seeing in Standard with the Jumpstart cards, Chemist's Insight, and Risk Factor, any card that you just get to do twice is inherently more powerful.
How about SSG?
What do you mean by SSG, Jacob?
Oh, Simian Spirit Guide. I don't think that Simian Spirit Guide is doing anything too crazy. I mean, we have a lot.
That's a pretty bad feels bad from Chris there. Got to use a Liliana minus to edict a token away.
Jacob, I think that like people complain more about Mox Opal than they do about Simian Spirit Guide, honestly. But even though, like I said, those decks aren't super. Those aren't getting really big showings in top 8s necessarily that they're ban-worthy, but Mox Opal is obviously also used in KCI. It's used in Affinity, which...
That was a big draw there from Chris. He just top-decked a Kalitas. Can we get Kalitas up on the screen here? That guy has a lot of text. Very powerful Magic card from Standard's past. So as you can see, he's a 4 mana 3/4 lifelinker that exiles all of their opponent's creatures when they die and puts a zombie on your field.
Yeah, I mean, if they get this on board, they start using its activations. It's a phenomenal card. It's also outside of bolt range. It's huge for people, and it's outside of, for the most part, it's not outside of push range, but it is large enough to where if they're not able to make something on their own own side of the battlefield, leave the battlefield, they're not going to be able to use push on it right away.
Oh man, this feels very bad from Chris here. He's going to probably use this Liliana to edict another Way of Spirit. And he's just sitting there looking at a Carnage Tyrant and a Path to Exile there? Yeah.
Yeah, EE is super good against tokens. You could just, it's a very efficient way to deal with tokens, Jacob, for sure.
That is a card I think Chris is missing here today, especially in a list that wants to put artifacts in its yard just for more types. I think EE is a big one to have missed in his board. Yeah,
just so anybody in chat to remember, tokens converted mana cost is actually just 0. So with cards like EE that talk about converted mana costs, like they're not. You can literally cast it and then sacrifice it right away for 0. Any cards that need a reprint to make them modern legal? There's some people that. I mean, yeah, you hear some people talk about that kind of stuff all the time. Like some people talk about Counterspell is probably the most obvious, but
Counterspell might be too good.
Yeah, Counterspell might be a little bit too good. That's why most of the counter spells are conditional.
I'm trying to think if there are any spells that are just legacy legal that I'd like to see in Modern.
Yeah.
So here we go. We finally get to see my Carnage Tyrant. Thank you, Jelly Belly. You right. I wasn't even paying attention because I just figured that Chris was dead.
You know, Chris, if anybody local here knows him, he's a very colorful character, and he definitely is happy right now that he just casted that. Like,
yeah,
100%.
He's real happy.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care that he knows he's gonna lose.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Chris.
Yeah.
When you watch this later, don't hate me.
Also, to get back into the ban list cards that you guys were talking about, they usually only try and unban cards, it seems like, when they're getting close to printing like a modern, one of the modern sets. So, like, if they do Modern Masters or something, that's probably when you'll expect to see Stoneforge Mystic be unbanned, because the card's really not so crazy in Modern right now.
Interesting. So we're going to see Alexander here playing EE on 1. Why do you think he's putting it on 1? What's he going against here? Do you think he fears like a Death Shadow maybe in this Traverse deck?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I guess so. That's probably like he's thinking like.
Ooh, here we go. Traverse with Delirium.
Yeah, I think Alexander's respecting the Carnage Tyrant here, but again, he's got the okay. So here's why, guys. So he's got the EE on 1. If he gets a Death Shadow, he can EE, get rid of the Death Shadow, and then Edict the Lily. That's why.
Thank you, Jelly Belly.
Yeah. So he knows Alexander is basically casting that EE in anticipation for the Death Shadow because.
So
he wants to get full value out of the Lily. He knows the Carnage Tyrant needs to be taken care of, and if it doesn't, he actually will be in trouble. So this is his best way of getting rid of it is the Edict.
I actually agree with what he's looking here. Scoo's gain him a bit of life, make himself a big creature. Although it's not really going to matter because I feel like Alexander's probably just going to Edict it away. Unless, I don't know if Chris has any more
well, he's not going to
souls in his yard.
If he Edicts, he's just going to, he'll just pitch the
Scavenging Ooze.
Scavenging Ooze, which is fine for Chris, I think.
So we're at a bit of parity here because Alexander does have a very fairly large board state. JPR, no, he is not playing Shadow. I feel like Alexander, that's what my reasoning was. He might have put that in anticipation of a Shadow.
Carnage Tyrant in Modern reminds me of when I was dabbling and playing in my blue-white deck, playing what was the 7-drop, gain 7 life, you win the game.
Approach?
Yeah, Approach. It was almost the same thing. It's like, it's fun, it's super cool, but in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not.
Probably pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to, in order to kind of play it, like you're losing other spots of your deck, like losing other angles.
Why wouldn't you just want to play it to Fairy, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. Chris is coming in with the big boy.
Yeah, JPR. He does have, I think, Death Shadow in there. I believe we don't have their main deck lists and right now, but I think he is playing them in there.
So Liliana's going to go down there. Yep, there's the Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, it's like Chris playing a good game here. With such a large board state from Alexander, it's not easy to, most people probably get discouraged about that, but Chris putting up a great fight right now.
Yeah, Carnage Tyrant will help you put up a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Carnage Tyrant's a hell of a card.
Okay, so we got, also I want to just go back to one of the comments from Jacob up top. He says, Force of Will is way too good. Same with True Name Nemesis. Yeah, those are, those would never, you're never going to see those in Modern. Force of Will is a staple in Legacy. It's one of the cards that format revolves around, along with Brainstorm, and so it makes it. You'll never see that go in Legacy, but also yes, in Modern, they'll never bring it in. It might not even be necessarily that great in Modern, in opposed to Legacy, because the main reason in Legacy that Force of Will.
The big attack.
Oh yeah, big attack here. The main reason that Force Will is so good in Legacy also is because there's a lot of decks that can win on turn 1 that you need to stop.
So I think this was actually a bit of a mistake. Maybe not a mistake, but maybe a different line that Alexander should be taking.
Okay.
I think he should be sacrificing that zombie to the Kalidas to put 2 counters on it and gain 2 more life and make it a 5/6.
Why, okay, so explain it. Is he not swinging with lethal right now? Is that?
No, he's not.
Okay.
And that's why I think he should do that, give himself 2 more life.
Lotus Sapphire, where is
bigger.
the new GameStorm? GameStorm is in the same town. It's in Lamont, Illinois. However, now they're about a half-mile south of the old location.
If you remember, near the location, there's a Jewel. We're right across the street from the Jewel.
Yeah, right like the Starbucks there. But yeah, if anybody is
So
in
Chris is going to scoop it up there.
Yep. If anybody's in the Chicagoland area and like wondering about where GameStorm is, you could just Google Lamont GameStorm. It's going to show you. It's not that difficult. Yeah, no problem. If you guys are up here, like again, just to go over the quick schedule of like what kind of games what kind of schedule we have for the store. On Wednesday nights, they have a pretty big standard turnout. Friday Night Magic, they have standard, modern, and draft. And then Sunday nights is a big modern turnout as well. They also have a ton of other games here. As you guys can see some of the stuff in back. They have tabletop games. They do the Star Wars tabletop game and bunch of other ones. And then throughout the week they do like EDH here and a couple other small like draft night and stuff like that. But if you guys go on Facebook, you guys can find the whole schedule.
Yeah, and they do standard here every Friday, Wednesday, and Sunday.
Yep.
Unbanned Twin. I could get behind an unbanning of Twin.
So let's look at some of the questions here. All right, guys, yeah, we are going to have – I don't think that they're looking for a backup match yet. Are you guys going to look backup match? All right, so we're going to do a couple more minutes here again of, like, question time with chat. Okay, I'm going to chill with you guys. Tom's going to take off again. So first I'm going to start with where Jacob says, with fetches legal, ponder –
Lotus Sapphire, who are you?
Anyways – all right, so with fetches legal, Ponder got banned. So think about Brainstorm. Yeah, Brainstorm is just way too good for Modern, dude. Like they're just not. There's no way that they're ever gonna let us have Brainstorm for Modern. And that's like such a format-defining card in Legacy that if you put that into Modern, you're gonna start seeing the formats be too similar. I think. Let's see, the Jelly Bean leaving the zombie up keeps lethal on board in case he draws removal for Flare. Okay, unbanned Twin. Unban Twin, yeah, a ton of people want that. I just think that if they unban Twin, you're going to get a lot of the blue-red decks going straight back to Twin again, where right now we actually have, like obviously you see the blue-red Wizards and some of the other decks. 1 second here, actually. I'm going to see if I could get a little bit of feedback. And hey, Andrew, I got to get that feedback from them. I'll just go like that for now. It's fine. Monday night, 1v1 EDH. Yeah, that's for sure. They do 1v1 EDH here Monday nights. Can you explain why Brainstorm is too good? Yeah, so for Sir Tail Weaver. Okay, so what with Brainstorm and fetches, it's incredibly busted. Most of the people will want to play Brainstorm in general. It allows you to, for 1 mana, essentially draw 3 cards. Because with a fetch, you're tucking the cards that you don't want and then putting them back into your deck. So essentially, you're getting with fetch lands, you're getting almost an unconditional draw 3 for 1. It's super powerful. It speeds up the format in some sense, and also it slows down the format in others because it allows people to just get these really grindy matchups. And it's super powerful card. It's one of the most powerful cards in the game.
All right, so we're gonna get Chris on here. We're gonna talk to him about his match.
Twin has one of the best decks ever.
Oh, what's up, Nicoletti?
Yeah, no, Twin is. Twin itself is it's a great. We had a bunch of players here that played it. I think that eventually they'll unban it. It's just going to be like another year or so. There's so much different removal and stuff in Modern now. All right, Alexander's going to come over here.
No, Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Chris.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we're going to get Chris over here. Tom will interview him for you guys. We'll take a quick minute off.
Full idea. Why would you?
So we're going to get the man himself on here. Come on, sit your ass down. Didn't mean to cuss, sorry, y'all.
No, you straight, my dude.
All right. All right. So, how'd that feel? You got to cast a Carnage Tyrant?
No, it was dope.
You swang with it?
I did.
So, what was your board plan?
Board plan?
Yeah, tell us about your board plan.
I don't know. Whenever it goes The Abzan mirror match is really rough. I'm on Traverse, so it's a little bit more tricky. He's got a better long game than I do,
Right.
but I can explode a lot earlier.
Are you on Death Shadows?
Nah, I
Okay,
don't
so
like
what's
the
your
Death
early
Shadow.
game?
Early game is usually just try to get trying to get Delirium with Grimflare really early and just control the board at that point. Now that's the idea. But in the mirror match, we both have like removal everywhere, and he's just able to control the board faster than I am usually.
Yeah. It seems like you also have a bit of dead weight in the matchup, too, like Mishra's Baubles. That's not exactly where you want to be.
No, Bobble's
seems like
not
it-
bad.
It's
Early,
not bad, but
early game it's not bad.
Right, early game, but it's not where you want to be in the,
No,
in the
it's-
mirror matchup. That's
No,
what
in
I'm
the mirror
talking
match
about.
I don't want to. It's definitely
Right.
dead weight past like turn 4.
Right. And the game's going past turn 4.
It is, but if I can get it on turn 1, if I can get Delirium
Get
by
roasted, Jacob.
if I can get Delirium by turn 2 with a Grim Flare out, that's pretty solid.
Okay.
It definitely helps a lot.
Yeah. It seemed he 2-for-1 Gelati, played some
No, he definitely
Lingering
2
Souls.
for 1 me.
And then in that game, too, you're sitting there, trading Liliana Edicts for 1 spirit.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
had
so
to.
that feels bad.
And then when I finally got to drop my big boy, I had to swing at the Lily because if he top decks any removal, I just lose it anyway. So I was kind of stuck.
Okay. So we got a question here from Tom Brady for president. Where's your bun?
What?
Your bun.
My bun?
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah.
The bun is gone. The bun be gone, my dude.
So we got a question for you. What do you think of Stitcher Supplier for Delirium? Is that a card you could play?
I mean,